Bears fans, YouTube, Bears fans talk. After a brief hiatus, but we promise we did our best. 2 days ago, we filmed an hour-long podcast talking about all the Bears free agent moves and what's going on with Justin Fields. Not 20 hours later, News drops. It finally happened. Justin Fields has been traded to the Steelers for a 6th-round pick. So when we started our video, that was going to be after our vacation, our hiatus, the official start of Season 2 of Bears Fans Talk.
Season 2.
I think we had all this great energy. We were excited about the free agents. There's a lot of things to talk about. I feel like I'm kind of coming into this week's podcast with my grandma's in the hospital type of energy. So
it's also a Sunday night after St. Patrick's Day weekend. I feel like we made a great podcast 2 nights ago on Friday night when you came back from vacation.
And essentially it's unusable.
It's not completely unusable because we talked about all the different transactions. But then there was probably the last 20 minutes, we actually devoted a lot of time to Justin Fields getting traded. Mm-hmm. And if the key point that I made, which was actually so funny that
I was just like, if we get a 6th-round pick, then we're gonna get it. And you're just like, no, just cut him.
Just cut him.
No.
To let you guys know, the point of it was John was saying get a 6th-round pick.
Get what you can get. If that's all you're gonna
get a 6th-round pick, then just cut him. And why did I say to cut?
Why did you say to cut? So he can choose where to go.
So he can choose where to go because the analogy I used was when you're in the draft, you at the later stages of the draft, you don't want to get drafted, so you can.
He still wouldn't be choosing where to go. He'd be going where people wanted him.
So here's and let's talk about.
And first I was gonna say So we're coming in with grandma in the hospital energy. There's a lot, whether you're a Justin Fields fan or someone who just wanted to trade him away, I feel like none of us are super satisfied with this move. So you've got a ChatGPT joke to help lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. And I'll actually customize it a little bit to why did the Bears why did the Bears go to the bank?
Why did the Bears go to the bank, Kevin?
To get their quarterback.
Boom. Roasted.
This is a work appropriate joke.
There you go. Yeah. So if you ever need to break the ice in the office,
guys, don't worry. AI is not coming for your job just yet. That was a really bad joke.
At least not for the comedians.
Yeah, not for the comedians. That's for sure.
You're not going to become a personality hire getting jokes from ChatGPT. I fancy myself something of a personality hire. So
as you're hosting a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a likable guy.
I mean, if I was dying, would I? You didn't even introduce yourself, by the way, John.
Oh, I'm Johnny CMD. I'm here as always, with the main event, Kevin Hackney. I think I forgot to do it in the last podcast too.
You did.
But anyway, so first response, you were actually kind of late to the game. I had to break the news to you.
You did, actually.
So what was your first response when you found out? What was your thought?
So today is St. Patrick's Day. Yesterday was my goddaughter's birthday. Mm-hmm. One of my goddaughter's birthday. I'm blessed enough to have 2 goddaughters.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a lucky guy.
Lucky guy.
If you guys want to make me any of your goddaughter or godchildren, the godfather, I am a very good godfather.
Looking for the record.
I mean, just look at the brokerage accounts. Let's just say that. Ooh. They'll love Uncle Kevin.
You're gonna have some great Easter gifts, I'm sure.
I'm sure they will. But anyway, so I was at her party. I was pretty engaged in that, and not really on my phone, trying to be present. And then I got home after, put my son to sleep, and I'm looking through some of the chats, and there's some stuff going off. Someone's talking about Justin Herbert, and I'm like, oh, just wait for the pod. Mm-hmm. And because we talked about Justin.
You did say maybe the Bears will trade for Justin Herbert.
I did say that in the pod. We're not going to publish it, but I did say that, and I was like, oh, awesome. I can't believe someone's bringing this up because I already talked about this on the pod. Mm. And John, you texted me then after, and you're like, I can't believe our entire podcast is useless. Yeah. I was like, wait, what the fuck? And then I went through my phone. I was like, oh my God, Justin Fields. I was 4 hours late to the game.
Yeah.
And then I saw the 6th-round pick, which I was funny enough, we were literally just talking about.
Could be a conditional fourth
and
if
it's
he gets
next
play
year,
time.
right?
It's for next year's draft
I know.
too. Yeah, so really, you want to talk about obsolete podcasts? The 30 minutes I spent talking about what Justin Fields' trade value was, completely wrong.
But what pisses me off though was that literally this whole trade market, when it first came out, I wasn't super bullish on it, but then Adam Schefter comes out and says, "Oh, they can
be a first round.
Could be a first round pick, and you're gonna go tell me from a first round pick to a next year 6th round pick, that is almost a complete opposite ends of the spectrum."
I think it just became so clear at that time. First of all, when that broke, I'm not sure Russell Wilson was known to be getting cut. And I think
No,
maybe
he did.
was he cut at that point?
He wasn't cut yet because they couldn't officially cut him. We knew Russell Wilson was getting cut during the regular
he did get
season.
benched. Yeah, I guess we probably did know that.
They said he was getting cut. They said unless you waive your injury clause, you will get cut. That's literally what Sean Payton said.
Yeah.
But there was actually something interesting about that. If Russell Wilson did waive his injury clause, it would have been setting a precedent for all other players.
Yeah.
So like that was actually like a smart move by Russell Wilson for.
Well, he was getting paid anyway. It's
yeah,
like,
but still though, like if he would have waived it, like it would have set precedent going forward. Who knows if that was just a side storyline? But anyways, so let's talk about what was your initial? My initial reaction was I thought it was almost a slap in the face. A 6th-round pick, I thought like I might as well cut him at that point. As for Justin, I thought it was actually it was probably one of the best landing spots for Justin.
I think in the long term, I think probably yes.
I mean,
I can't see a world in which Russell Wilson spends 3 or 4 more years as the starting quarterback of Pittsburgh.
Russell Wilson is a bridge quarterback. And like I was preaching, maybe we go out and get Russell Wilson, draft Caleb, and bench Caleb, and give him, not bench him, let him sit a year and learn.
Yeah.
Like,
I see that. I see the value in that.
That's what the Steelers did, except for free.
Yeah.
For free.
So one thing, we didn't realize, I didn't consider for the Steelers, because at first this move kind of came out of like left field, but then I look at like the Steelers prior to this move were paying essentially like no quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, they're paying $1.2 million for a quarterback, which is remarkably low compared to like 30 or 40 or 50 million.
For Russell Wilson,
for Russell Wilson. So, it's an interesting move. I think my first thought was like, could Fields beat out Russell Wilson? But
why?
From what I'm seeing though, is like that's not the intention.
No.
Russell Wilson is like the starter. It's not going to be a competition. But it's such an aggressive move by the Steelers to go out and get Russell Wilson, which, obviously they got him pretty cheap, and then trade Kenny Pickett, be like, hey, you're done. We got no faith in you. And then bring in essentially Kenny Pickett's replacement, being like, nope, Fields is our guy. I feel like, because neither one are going to be the starters.
Yeah.
But at least you had some continuity with Pickett. But I guess it's kind of hard to like make a guy a starter, bench him, say, hey, you're going to learn for a couple of years. And then, and then Pickett went to Eagles, that's right. Yeah.
Do me a favor. Can you Google a picture of Mike Tomlin? Just Google because I'm gonna help paint a picture for everyone since we do have. It should be images. Should be like the second or third image.
For some reason, Justin Fields auto-populated.
Oh no, we just want Mike Tomlin. Yeah. There we go.
Which one?
This one or that one work. Either or.
Okay.
Look at that man.
What about him?
Or do this one. Do the CNN one. Look at that man. That man is like, I hate my quarterback play right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, we are starting over and fresh. And he saw an opportunity, he made it. Now I can also see that man sitting there, move this out of his nose so we get I can also see there, and he's playing hardball. Okay, with Poles.
Yeah.
And he's like, 6th round next year or nothing.
Well, yeah, they did.
And Poles is like, come on. And he's like, no, motherfucker. You heard me.
They didn't need to make this move.
Look at his clock.
His clock.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure Mike Tomlin is as pistol toting as you think he is. Especially
No, Mike Tomlin is an unbelievable head coach.
No, of course.
But he also is a no bullshit type of guy.
Yeah.
You come and play for Mike Tomlin. I can't believe Mike Tomlin was the head coach. He handled AB and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, that's
He's got to be a no bullshit type of guy because the second they got off that team, they were off the rocker.
Is he the longest tenured coach now that Belichick's got?
That is an accurate
I think
statement.
so.
And he makes the playoffs every year. Like
Well, he's got a winning record. Never had a losing record, which is astounding.
You want to talk about a power? It's not even a power play. Like Mike Tomlin looked at his quarterback situation. I'd consider that one of the best moves out. But it doesn't matter what happens from this point forward. The fact he was able to pull that off, completely redesign his quarterback room, and like on paper, like if I'm playing Madden, like this is an amazing setup.
Yeah. And, another good thing is, like, I think if this was the Bears in the situation that the Steelers are in, where you got Russell Wilson and then you got Justin Fields, and then they come and we acquire that quarterback room. I think Russell Wilson has like 2 bad games, and everyone is just calling for Justin Fields to get in.
And Pittsburgh's like that too.
Well, yeah, but I think the Bears would fold where Mike Tomlin will not. I think if Mike Tomlin
that's a great point.
If Mike Tomlin makes the decision like, no, this is our plan, you are going to learn for a year.
Yeah.
You are not starting the field as long as Russell Wilson is healthy.
Yeah.
And that's that.
That's a really good point.
Because I think he's got like the tenure and like the security, which I guess a lot of people are saying that maybe he would leave, but the security that would like say, no, I'm looking for the long term.
Yep.
I'm not just going to put you in to make the fans excited because you're running around.
Well, I said it in a previous podcast when we were talking about potential Bears head coaches, like not back in the day, but during season 1, and I was like, the perception of Mike Tomlin within Pittsburgh was really negative before they made the playoffs. Like, they're like, we want him out.
Oh, yeah, before they... Yeah.
And the rest of the NFL is like,
yeah, we'll take him.
We'll take him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, like, but what I'm saying, though, is that, like, Mike Tomlin was in that negative situation. He didn't care. He rode the ship.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
Like, almost like an Aaron Rodgers, relax.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Like, and I think the point you just made, he's gonna, if the fans are calling for it, he's like, I don't care what you say.
Yeah, no, we
This is
our
the
plan.
plan.
We're in, I'm the coach of this team. So I just also want to say, like, I hope that things work out. I mean, I think at this point it's probably Caleb Williams or bust. I'm not even really willing to entertain
We called it. Called it.
Because but
week 6 or 7.
Well, the next thing people are going to be saying is like, well, what if some people have been saying, what if we go out and get Justin Herbert? We already have Justin Herbert's like entire backfield or whatever.
Yeah.
Not willing to entertain it. It's going to be Caleb Williams.
It is.
I hope he plays well. But I hope Justin Fields. I do hope for the best for Justin Fields. I just hope Caleb Williams is a little bit better.
Hang on. He's okay. Multiple things. So first, I'm gonna touch on Justin Fields leaving because we're still on that topic. The fact that he went to AFC too, like, makes it really easy to root for him to do well.
No, 100%.
Like,
We don't play them this year, do we? I guess.
I don't. I
No,
hope not.
because I feel like we just recently played the Steelers. Probably not.
But I hope. But the fact that the AFC is great, right? And like, there were talks, like, because we talked about it too, was that like almost all the trade candidates, like the trading places were gone. The only places left that were vacancies of quarterbacks really were Vegas, which wouldn't make sense with
the Getsy being there. That
Getsy
was
being
never going to happen.
And then the other place that was the only other place he could have gone was Minnesota. And like, there would have been nothing worse, John, than us trading intra-division to Minnesota.
I think we would have beat them a bunch, though.
But still, though. Yeah. But still, like, I was like, I don't want to. I don't want that
really being rubbed in my face.
Even if he were to beat us once.
Yeah.
Like if you were to come to Soldier Field and beat us playing for the Vikings, wearing purple and white, like, I mean, talk about like the ultimate revenge.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah. So I mean, this could be like, I feel like this is a great setup for like the Justin Fields like revenge story.
I'm
like,
rooting for him.
Yeah, I am too.
He's going to the AFC.
I would love to see him figure it out.
Yeah.
I think this was the right move. It was unavoidable. We talked about 2 days ago where I said the one way the Bears could botch this situation and ruin all of the good things that we've done in the offseason so far is by trying to do something stupid like drafting a quarterback with the number 1 overall pick and keeping Justin Fields. I think that was like the one scenario in which this gets botched.
Yeah.
Naturally, I would have loved to have gotten a little bit more draft capital, or any more draft capital.
Yeah.
But I think this is just what had to happen. So
the other thing too is like Justin Fields went to a division that I feel like is a great division for him. So the NFC North is a phenomenal division, right?
AFC North
or AFC North. I'm sorry.
The Steelers are the AFC North.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So that's the Bengals.
Yeah.
Right. So you got Joe Burrow. You got the Ravens. You got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You got the Browns.
Yeah.
Laughing stuff, but still Deshaun Watson.
It's like I just saw Watson there. Yeah.
But still, though, that quarterback play though, and that's going to be a cool division, I think, to watch. Like, I think it's a good storyline for the NFL. I wish Justin nothing but the best of luck. I hope he does sit this year. I hope he resets, and I hope he comes back and he's everything that we expected, except just not as good as Caleb.
Yeah, exactly.
Wish him all the success, like you said.
So I hope so. Yeah, so I think it's definitely Caleb Williams. Like I said, I don't want to spend any time. We're not going to be making clickbaity podcasts like talk about, well, what about Derek May? What about Bo Nix? What about we're going to trade the pick and then we're going to get a haul? Like, who knows? But I think that's the mindset I'm going forward.
The only potential one would be Justin Herbert, which I think is a far long shot.
Yeah.
And the only reason...
I just said I didn't want to entertain.
But John, the only reason why I would think that, though, is if Jim Harbaugh wants to start over. If he wants to be like clear house.
I feel like they would have done it by now. I feel like they would have traded him by now.
Also, the NFL kind of like, can you imagine like during the first day of March Madness, like if they dropped that news,
Yeah.
like it would kind of like not ruin March Madness, but it would.
No, I think the first day of March Madness, even for me, I think would usurp any news of Justin Herbert being traded to the Bears, except for I guess in Chicago.
I mean, it would literally, the city would go crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would just be a little bit nervous. I'm like, this is a big move. I don't know. I'm somewhat nervous by these big moves.
What would you say? Just hypothetically, just want to know if they did trade for Justin Herbert, what do you think it would cost?
What do you think it would cost?
Yeah. And you better get this podcast out, because if this happens and we're talking about and we have now 2 obsolete episodes,
I think it would probably cost the number 1 overall.
I mean, duh.
I think it would cost.
I think it would cost 1-9. I think
not 1 and 9.
1 and
I wouldn't do it. I'd be pissed.
Hang on, 1 and 9, and I think it would be another first round pick. Not next year, but I think maybe in 2026.
At that point, I think what makes me kind of feel uneasy. At that point, you don't feel like we're the Chicago Bears anymore. We're a Frankenstein of everyone else's pieces, and I feel like I would lose a little bit.
No homegrown.
A little bit. I would lose a little bit of the
like
identity.
The Yankees.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's kind of the way baseball is. Like I feel like part of the satisfaction of being like a hardcore fan is like seeing these guys come up and like, and once they finally make that breakthrough, really just having that sense of pride, like they're ours. They came through our system, as opposed to like just cherry picking the guys who are going to be good.
So here, guys, you ready for this question? John, remind me, who's your favorite quarterback?
My favorite quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I know it was.
Who's your favorite Bears quarterback?
It was at one point Jay Cutler. I'm not sure.
Oh, and how did the Bears get Jay Cutler? They drafted him, right?
No, not drafted him.
Oh, what happened?
He spent more time with the Bears than he did with the Broncos.
Wait, how did they get him again? I forgot.
That feels different. That feels different than us getting Justin Herbert. It does.
Sorry, Johnny. I had to walk you right in there because I know how much you love Jay.
I love Jay a lot more back in the day than I do now. I think I've grown out of Jay a little bit.
I'd say this, Johnny. Like I've said from the beginning, I think whoever's quarterbacking for the Bears, I am all in. I think that the Bears right now have developed a team and put together. I know maybe you can like chop up the last episode and just talk about like all the analysis we did on the signings, but like. They are in the position now, especially on the offensive side. Like the defense.
Let's just talk about so big acquisitions.
Okay, so let's start with Swift. I think Swift was like Keenan Allen was great, but Swift was a great acquisition for the Bears. Yeah. Like I'll just repeat what I said. The UGA guy. Remember, I looked up his carries. Like not a lot of mileage on him. Yeah. Like. Super strong, super positive. He's able to catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, I think
dynamic.
It's going to be fun to have a dynamic running back.
He's legitimately a 3-down back.
That's been missing from the Bears. I mean, Monty was pretty good.
What do you mean? Monty was a 3-down back. He's killing it in Detroit. And before that, Forte.
I don't think. Yeah, it was more. Forte was, I think, the last one who I really felt that way about. A running back who could change the game, who like splash plays. Monty just never quite got there.
But here's the thing, though. I don't want that to be what the Bears' identity is, right?
No, not necessarily. But.
Like, I don't want to be like, when you think of the Bears, you think of a running, hard-nosed running team. Like, that's old school Bears. I don't want to use Swift 60. Like, Forte was being used 60% of the time. It felt like if the ball wasn't going to Forte on those Bears years, they weren't moving the ball.
I think that like the new school way of
fresh legs
winning games, not necessarily fresh legs. I think it's like get the lead in the first half and then just pound. In the third and fourth quarter, you own the clock. You're pounding them out. You're getting splash plays on the run.
Wait, that's the new way. No. That is the goal of football.
Well, no, I feel like everyone was just like, well, you got to have a strong running game. You're running on first down. Yeah, like the old school Bears way is just like you're running on first down.
Well, no, the old school Bears way is defense.
Well, yeah. I mean,
let's win a 6-0 game.
The ground and pound, and I think everyone then was just like, well, no, you got to be fast, you got to be explosive all the time. Forget about the running back. But I think at a certain point, you need to be able to control the clock. You need to be able to kind of slow the game down and tire out the defense. And I think that's what a lot of these teams kind of forget about. I think that's like I don't know. So I'm really happy that we went out strong for the running back. I'm glad that we didn't overpay for Saquon Barkley.
You did say I went off everyone who was signed from free agency, and the one person you said you would have taken over Swift. Do you remember who it was? Henry. Derrick Henry.
Henry
is
did
the only
not
one
get
you
paid
said.
a lot, but Henry's
Yeah.
got miles on him, so I can understand why
Yeah.
Swift might still be a better option. But Henry, very friendly deal for the Ravens.
I mean, yeah, and it's a great landing spot for him. And then the fact Barkley went to the Eagles, we talked about.
Henry probably prioritized, maybe from his standpoint, is like a place where I can win now.
maybe
which
not
that
only
might
win,
not-
be successful.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
which he could be with the Bears, but more so with the Ravens. So I understand him making that move.
but we also said that like every running back that ever plays for the Ravens gets hurt. I feel like I'm having deja vu again. All my good jokes are already taken.
All right, and then the next, maybe the biggest one is the Keenan Allen. This is the one that we were a little bit more split on.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about renting a wide receiver who's 31 years old. Granted, he just came off a really good year.
Yeah.
But he's only one more year on his contract.
Yeah.
He's not that cheap. We might have to pay him again and extend him.
Yep.
And he's got to be.
No, he's got 2 more years. I thought.
I think it was only one.
Was it one?
Yeah. But he's either way. He's probably in the autumn of his heyday.
It doesn't matter though. He's more, like I said, he's a slot guy. He's a receipt. He's more of a possession guy, and he's a route runner.
Yeah.
It's not like we're it's like a who's like a really fast guy that
Like Michael Thomas.
no, like Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks relies upon his speed, right? He's not. Who's the other really fast guy? He played for like the Eagles, the Rams. He's been bouncing around all over the place now.
For current.
Yeah, he's still current. Yeah, he's only got one. You're right. One more year on his deal. But anyways, I like it though because like it felt like now that we know Caleb is going to be the choice for the Bears, I was like, you're giving him every opportunity to succeed.
There will never be a rookie quarterback who will come into a better position than whoever the Bears draft.
DJ Moore is a bona fide alpha.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Keenan Allen,
him functioning in number 2 is one reason why I think I'm okay.
or the slot,
Yeah.
or they're gonna draft a receiver
Yeah.
at 9, right? Then you have Cole Kmet. Then you're gonna have Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett, which is the other big acquisition, which I think is a great tight end number 2, and I think we got him pretty inexpensively. Yeah.
And Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if I'm in a decent offensive line that's been upgraded a little
Yeah.
bit.
So we got 3. I want to say they feel more like offensive line parts.
Sure. Not anchors.
Yeah, a new center who we talked about. Now I'm forgetting his name, but center from, I think he was from the Colts or the 49ers. I forget which his most recent team was, but he had the PFF 17.
Yeah.
So 17th ranked center in the league. So
Was that the guy that
he's a serviceable option.
is the guy Poles went after twice?
No, that was he was from the Bills.
That
was
looks-
Ryan Blake,
Who looks just like
Jason Kelsey, which
Yeah.
I think is a great thing that we need to have on our team.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, he was starting. He was the first acquisition in free agency. Ryan Bates.
Yeah.
Poles tried to get him 2 years ago, but the Bills matched the offer, and he was a restricted free agent, so he stayed.
Yeah.
He didn't start last year, but he played in every
Ryan
single
Bates,
game,
yeah.
and he was predominant. I think he was predominantly center, but he has the ability to kind of like fill in different spots.
Sure.
So we added a lot of depth to our line, but I don't think we added a real anchor.
But still, the line did a lot. The line was a much better place this year than it was last year.
I never thought that was one of the things that the Fields advocates really wanted to say. The line was terrible.
The
I
center
don't think
play was
the center play was
atrocious.
bad. I don't think our line play was terrible.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was.
It was better than it's been
Yeah.
last year, is what
Yeah.
I'd say.
So I mean, I think I'd like to shore that up. I think we've still got a bunch of holes on defense, particularly the defensive line. I think we need another pass rusher, and I think we need a defensive tackle.
So let's talk defensive. So Jalen Johnson
extension.
Love that
A
move.
plus move.
We rated all the stuff too. There's such good content now last night.
Well,
But so
say la vie.
Okay, so the Jalen Johnson extension, we both gave that 10 out of 10. We thought that the money was right. It was less than Alexander or whatever, the guy in Green Bay.
He did not become the highest paid cornerback, which I was worried was what he was going to hold out for.
Yep.
And it ended up being less than $20 million a year. I thought it was and not a crazy long contract either. I believe was it 4 years? 4 years, and he's still young. I think he's in his heyday.
And we were talking like the ability to shut down a fourth or a third of the field, like that is worth every penny.
Yeah.
And then you have the pass rush too. Like Slat is amazing.
I think that made a big difference in Jalen Johnson's season. Is like being able to have like some pressure on you so that he could play a little bit more aggressively. The other big defensive Move was the signing of the safety from the Eagles, Byard, who I think is really solid. He is a complete upgrade from Eddie Jackson, who he is replacing. Much more durable. I mean, I want to say he's in his late 20s. So, I'm not sure how much longevity he has, but I feel like that was a reasonable contract, and I think it just makes the defense better.
Well, Eddie Jackson was he was great when he was great, but he definitely fell off.
Definitely past his prime, and we were paying him a lot of money too.
Yeah.
So I think that's a complete upgrade. I think our linebacker play is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't think we have a major star there. Tremaine Edmonds is pretty good. I never really was saw him take over games.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's pretty good. I think it comes down to we need another pass rusher, and I think we need a big guy on the defensive tackle position.
I mean, up front is where you want to spend a lot of your money, right?
So here's something that we didn't talk about last podcast is we're gonna pick a quarterback with a number one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm not personally willing to spend any brain cells thinking that the Bears are gonna trade down, especially now that Justin Fields is gone. But that number 9 pick, I think before all these moves and before the Keenan Allen,
I talked about this.
Before the Keenan Allen, I assumed it was probably going to be a wide receiver. Now I'm not so sure. What do you think?
So once they got Keenan Allen, I was almost convinced now that they're going to trade down out of 9.
Yeah, I've heard people say that too.
That's what I think. That's what I would do if I was Poles, right? So you don't need. Because there's 3 top receivers. There's Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously he's going to
Odunze. Marvin Harrison Jr. will probably go 3, maybe 4 if the Patriots decide to go with a quarterback, which I assume they probably will. I think it's going to go runner quarterback
for sure. 1, 2, 3 is going to be all, which sucks for Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's arguably
the best talent in the draft.
Can't miss,
yeah.
Right, but if you can't get him the ball, what does it matter, right? Yeah. So, and then there's a guy from UW. Is that Azunye or whatever his name is? Right? Yeah. And then there's one other receiver that I think that people. But
I know there's a 3 where it's 1A, 1B, 1C, or 1, 2B, 2C.
But if those 3 guys are gone, they're for sure trading down. And now I almost feel why not take that risk to trade down a couple picks or a few picks and pick up some more.
Go for some sort of lineman.
Because we don't have a second round pick, so you might as well just trade down.
And we don't have a 4th round pick now either.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So I mean, it's I think we're down to 2 first round picks.
Yep.
A 3rd round pick, and I think just a 5th round pick.
And that's fine with me because
maybe a 6th round pick.
The team that I'm looking at though right now is, there's not a ton of holes left on it that need to be absolutely. Obviously the quarterback position.
And I think we still have cap space. There's not any website that I can reliably say with all the moves that have gone on a good up to date cap space. But I think that we still have some room. So we'll see. I'm not sure how much is left there on the free agent market. I feel like this has been the craziest free agent week that I can remember. So I'm not sure there's going to make any big moves. I'm fine if the Bears don't absolutely max out all their money.
Mm-hmm. We got to save to pay Caleb.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years from now.
So should we order our Caleb Williams jersey?
I don't want to custom make one. There's a small jersey shop over, I forget where it's at. It's where Jeff lives. What city is it?
Morton Grove.
In Morton Grove. There's a jersey shop over there. When that becomes available, I might go there after the draft and be like, hey, one of the Caleb jerseys coming in. He's like, oh, this date? It's like, I'll fucking be there.
So here's the thing though, first of all, Caleb always wears 13. Who else wears 13?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, fuck, I walked into that.
Oh, yeah, who else wears 13?
Recent acquisition.
Does Keenan Allen?
Yeah, Keenan Allen wears 13. So who's going to wear 13?
Probably Caleb
Williams. Probably Caleb.
Oh, funny you should say that.
Kyle Pitts.
Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts. And did you see the press conference of Kirk? So Kyle Pitt wears the same number as Kirk Cousins, number 8.
Yeah.
And then Kirk Cousins was asked about that in a press conference. Yeah. And then Kirk was just like, make it worth your while, pay me something.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Pitts and then he says, and Kyle just told me, try and give me the ball every game.
Yeah, give me targets.
And then I almost felt like Kirk was just like, oh, that probably wasn't the right thing to say. So then he was like, then he shot me a wink and just kind of laughed. It was all joking. And I'm like, it wasn't joking. I don't think Kyle Pitts winked at you, Kirk Cousins. I think that was a real thing he said to you.
We talked about Kirk Cousins when previously it had a lot of ripples throughout we thought the Bears were doomed. They really did doom the Bears because they ended up only getting a 6th-round pick.
I feel like the Bears were doomed before that. I feel like the NFL had already decided at large that Justin Fields is not their guy, unfortunately.
But
I think now in retrospect I can say that like it was just never going to happen the way we thought it was.
I told you a 1st round was unreasonable. I thought a 2nd round was unreasonable at the time. But like
I really didn't. I thought he was I still think that Justin Fields is a starter, and I thought we were like their quarterback. There's so many quarterback needing teams, like Gardner Minshew getting paid to go to the Raiders, and Jacoby Brissett is now getting paid to go to the
Pats, isn't he?
Yeah, and then Sam Darnold, who's now the starting quarterback of the Vikings.
Yeah,
I think Justin Fields is leaps and bounds better than all 3 of those quarterbacks.
Jacoby's pretty good.
He's not better than Justin Fields.
I don't know.
I don't think he's better than Sam Darnold.
The problem with Fields, though, is the fact you got to pay him soon.
Yeah, and I think that's what the kiss of death was. Like, if we want Justin Fields, we'll wait till next year.
Yeah. Well, the thing, though, is that, like, if he wasn't 2 years away from a massive contract, like, he would be so much more marketable. But the problem is he's not a proven commodity yet. Yeah. And then, like, his agent's the same agent that's, like, represented by, like, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Really?
He's, like, the big agent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's, like, the guy.
Yeah.
Or I guess Lamar doesn't have an agent, but he's, like, he handles all the big superstars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, there's no way that his agent's not going to, like, take a max deal. Or, like, he's going to want a $40 million contract with Justin Fields. And the way I'm looking at it, if I'm anyone, is it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, how can you give him $40 million when you haven't seen anything?
I thought there was going to be somebody who would like, in my mind, even if it's the wrong move, I thought there was going to be some GM out there and be like, we can fix this. Like, we see all these explosive plays, and we can fine tune this. I feel like there's always a GM like that.
Know who that would have been?
Who?
Al Davis.
Who's Al Davis?
RIP.
Who's Al Davis?
He's the Raiders head coach.
Okay. Oh.
Or not head coach, like owner.
Yeah, I know. Did he die?
Yeah, he died.
Oh, when did he die?
Recently.
Oh, really? Okay.
Within the past 2-3 years.
R.I.P.
Know who else who I think would have done that?
Who?
A few years ago. Actually, probably like a decade ago.
John Gruden?
No, Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones is still in power. He didn't go with Justin Fields.
I think Jerry Jones is losing. I think he's kind of losing his mind a little bit. After the Trey Lance deal, I think someone was like, hey, dude, maybe you take it easy.
No, why? I mean, are they paying Trey Lance a lot of money? He's like
traded a third round pick for a backup quarterback. And like Mike McCarthy was like, we had no idea he was coming here. Like,
I guess in retrospect, where Justin Fields just got dished for a 6th round pick.
Yeah, and they were like, we had no idea he was coming here.
Justin Fields beat Trey Lance the first game of the season last year.
He did, and then Trey Lance went to the strip club.
Oh, that's right. I feel like this has come up in the podcast like 2 or 3 times.
Anytime you bring it up, I can't forget. It was the most amazing thing in the world. Right. To go all the way to Admiral in 45 minutes. We know what traffic's like getting out of there.
Yeah. I mean, did he shower before he went? I guess you don't need to.
Oh, it's
Who was? It was Kawhi Leonard. You ever see the video of Kawhi Leonard who was in a strip club and like there's someone just like from across the room, just like he was like sitting somewhere stone faced. He's just making it rain. Just like it was like creepy. Like I've never actually seen anyone make it rain, like even a video of it in real life. Yeah. And there was something really upsetting about it, especially with like the way Kawhi Leonard's just like this robotic guy, like he had that creepy laugh, like that went viral.
Oh yeah.
Look up that video.
I know
Kawhi Leonard making it rain. Like, when we're done here, look up that video.
So I do want to bring up another point. There's another quarterback out there who I believe he's still a free agent right now.
Did Jimmy Garoppolo get cut?
Jimmy G is somewhere, but that's not who I was talking about. None other.
Jameis Winston?
Eating W's.
He's not still on the team, right? They cut him, right?
I don't know.
I think they did.
He just did a wedding for one of the equipment managers.
Really?
He did like a toast. It was really funny.
Okay.
Like Jameis is.
So who are you thinking of?
None other than West Virginia's very own. Come on.
I don't know. Tell me.
Tyson Bagent.
Tyson. Oh wait, he's gone now.
I think he's a free agent right now.
I hope they keep him.
They signed a backup quarterback though.
Yeah, that Ripien guy.
Yeah, dude. So I'm like, wait.
But I thought Peterman's gone. But I was really confused.
Peterman got another contract.
But did they? Where did he go?
Oh, I don't. I follow
with the Bears or not with the Bears?
Not with the Bears.
Oh.
I follow an account. It's called like Nathan Peterman Fans Only.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically satire.
Okay.
And it was like a picture of Nathan Peterman on his new team. Like, you guys thought I was done, but I got one more fucking contract in me. It's like,
well, he came in like there was a point late.
What a hype!
There was a point late in the season after the Tyson Bagent games where Fields was hurt for a couple of plays and Peterman came in.
I know, instead of Bagent.
I was really shocked by that.
Nathan Peterman is, guess where he is at?
Packers.
No, he's playing for the New Orleans Saints.
Who? And Tyson Bagent is, as of now, not signed?
I don't believe so. I don't
Okay.
think there's a lot of news on Tyson Bagent. I don't think a lot of people.
I liked him, man. I don't think he's got the arm talent to be a starting quarterback, but he came in.
He's got the grit.
He's
got a 3-year contract.
Yeah,
he's got to be on here.
He's got the football, so he's probably still in the Bears. Then there's no reason to believe he's not.
Yeah, guess how much he's making?
How much?
Just under $1 million.
Yeah, there you go.
His signing bonus is $8,000.
That's not very much money.
It's not a lot, so he's got to make the roster. Good for him.
All right.
What else you want to cover? I mean, I feel like the Justin trade's obviously big. We wish him the best of luck. I hope he smiles a little bit more in Seattle and in Steelers in Steel City.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the city you were looking for.
Steel City works too.
Sure.
Russell Wilson's there. I mean, honestly, I'm more pumped that we're going to have Caleb going forward. Like, it kind of silences everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, Ryan Poles is listening to our podcast since week 6, and when we were saying, like,
was it week 6?
It was pretty early.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm going to have to go back and find it.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to find the exact moment when I introduced Caleb Williams to you. I introduced him to you.
You introduced Caleb Williams to me?
We have the archives.
There's a lot of hours there. I'm not going back on.
Or if I find it.
Sure. Okay, let me know if you were the one. If you can find a clip of you being like, so we can draft Caleb Williams, and be like, gee, Kevin, who's Caleb Williams? I don't know who that is.
Oh, you better post this now.
Sure.
I'm gonna find it.
Fine.
Oh, last thing, we didn't lead off it. We typically lead off with it. So welcome to season 2. We have decided we are going to be Bears fans talk, and just bear it. But most importantly, John, what do we need to do?
We need to get to 100 subscribers, and if you get us there before the draft, we will go and we will podcast live at the draft. Maybe we'll even figure out how to do a live stream there, like in the hotel room or something like that. But
That's gonna get really weird.
If we get to 100 subscribers before the draft, one lucky subscriber will win my Anthony Richardson Micro Mosaic rookie card, which is valued, it's not graded yet, but raw, valued at potentially $300. And maybe if he plays more than 2 games this year, it'll be worth more. So
we initially showed him was like 5,000, but it's got to be like perfect.
I think it's got to be perfect, and I think he's got to play a little better. I think maybe at the peak.
Yeah.
So one lucky subscriber, you get us to 100 before the draft, and I will gift this to a random lucky subscriber of our first 100. So.
And then the other thing I would mention on top of that is John is a man of his word.
I'm gonna do it.
And it's going to be really fun. We know who the Bears are taking number 1 overall, and John and I would love to be there in Detroit Motor City.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we're still in the midst of one of the most exciting off seasons, which is going to be one of the most interesting and fun Bears seasons. I was texting my cousin. I'm probably going to request every single home game off.
Yeah.
And trying to get to as many as I can.
Rosie better have an extra ticket once or twice.
I'm sure. Yeah. So I think this is going to be pretty hype.
You're going to want to bring me.
If you want to keep on with the weekly content, breaking down everything down, keep yourself up to date. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps out our podcast a lot. Helps kind of boost it out to other people.
We just got to 50, so we need 50 more.
We're halfway there.
Halfway there.
All right. Kevin, I think that's all I got. Any parting words?
Bears are moving in the right direction, John. And I'm not that upset about the 6th round pick because I would have cut him anyways. We cut him to help him, right?
Yeah, sure.
In Poles we trust, and we will continue to believe he's making the right moves, going in the right direction, and I'm excited.
In Poles we trust. It's our time down here. See you guys next week.